Hi everyone. In this video, we will see how we went from this video to this stylized version and how we replaced the character. So let's start. Create a new project and drag your video directly into Mago. You can trim it to select the relevant shots. It's only taken a few seconds and it directly appears at the top of our timeline. The timeline is here to help you work precisely on your shots, but we'll see more about it in a few minutes. Let's start by opening the Settings tab. The first thing to do is to choose your video model. Each model is designed for specific objectives, so make sure to choose a model aligned with what you look for. Animate is designed to replace characters without affecting the rest of the video. First frame models are perfect to give very stable stylization or even character transformation. V2.5 is our oldest model. It will give you a style more fuzzy. Let's focus on how we got this stylized result using first frame 3.4 for now. If you want to replace your character without affecting the background, go to this timecode. The Settings tab includes 3 tabs. In the Basic tab, start by restyling your first frame directly into Mago. Open the Stylizer. Here you can transform your image. Select the image-to-image model you want to use, like Nano Banana or Seedream. Select the frame number of the image you want to stylize. It's better if you stylize the first frame of your render. Add reference images. You can add several images. It can be character, objects you want to add, or an art style you want to replicate. Then write your prompt with words like replace, transform, or add. Select the number of images you want to generate. You can also directly iterate on images you generated if you like them, but want to change an element. Let's click Use This when you are happy. You can also directly upload your frame. We are now back in the settings of our video. The auto prompt is directly here, but you can also rework it to make it perfect. It should describe the action in your video, as well as the style or transformation you did in your image. Click on the Controlnets tab. Controlnets are really important as it will shape how the model understands your input video and then apply the stylization. You can choose between 5 Controlnets. Here are previews of how they understand your video. For example, Depth will keep the 3D logic of your scene by creating a dynamic depth map. Pose is exclusively focused on your character's movements. In our video, let's use Depth and Pose to keep the movement of our character while changing him into a robot and keep a solid background. Adapt the strength of your Controlnets. You can keep it at default first and then iterate based on your renders. Enable face mesh if you need lip sync or to preserve the facial expression of your character. In the Advanced tab, select your output size. V3.4 can go up to 1,600 pixels, and others are currently rendering at 1,280 pixels. Increase a bit the steps if you want sharper results. Increase CFG if you want your prompt to have a stronger influence. Head to the context settings. Our models renders your video by chunk. The context determines how long each chunk is, and you can also play with the overlap to make the switch between chunks less noticeable. Turn on dynamic reference if your scene changes over time, or if the reference frame isn't perfectly aligned with your video's first frame. Now let's launch a test for 48 frames to see how it looks. While the new track is rendering, we can launch other renders to iterate or test another style. For example, let's use Animate to transform our character and keep the background intact. You can change all your settings or just refine. I want my character to become an anime character with a new outfit. Once your frame reference and prompt are changed, head to the Advanced settings. The Animate model has different settings. Adapt the pose and face strengths to give more or less freedom to Mago to reproduce the movements of your character. Write your masking prompt in 1 or 2 words. Increase the threshold if the transformation removes elements from your original character, like an arm disappearing. Learn more about all settings with the links in the description. Launch a new test. A new track appears in the vertical timeline. Easily look at the settings of your tracks by clicking Render Info. Load the track settings by clicking the arrows to iterate in a few clicks. For example, here let's change the Controlnet and launch a new render. Let's play our new render. Once we are happy with result, we can launch a full render. Precisely select the frame range for your render using the timeline. Generate a new render with a new track. Now let's compare our renders. Hold Control and left click. Easily compare up to 4 videos side by side to spot which version aligns best with your creative vision. For the renders done with first frame models, you can also visualize the Controlnet Maps. It's very useful to understand what might be the issue if your Stylize render is not what you are looking for. You now have a complete overview of your creative workflow in Mago. If you have any questions, join our Discord server. The Mago team and community are always happy to help. For more details about character transformation or other topics, watch the corresponding tutorial video by clicking here.